Okay, so I have absolutely no idea what I'm currently going to title this video because, I mean, it might be like, oh, the best or most powerful lore-accurate Warframes, the most powerful Warframes in the lore, or it's going to be something about the actual topic of the video, which is, I thought it'd be cool to discuss if you had to pick 10 Warframes to protect you and fight for you against all of the other ones. So I think currently there's 60 Warframes that we can see right here. So 50 of them are coming to kill you, and then the other 10 that you've picked on your team are protecting you. And this is more based on lore power as opposed to in-game, which is kind of, it's difficult to talk about with Warframe because a lot of the in-game mechanics are also considered in the lore, like a modding system is actually something used in the lore. So this is going to be a stupid discussion. I'll make this clear. This shouldn't even be taken remotely serious. This is just me yapping and having fun with this topic. To set the stage, I think it will be in a big... it'll probably just be in a wide open field, to be honest. I don't think it was that voice crack. Whoops. I think it would be in a wide open field. Maybe not like a Coliseum or anything with sort of walls. I don't know, man. This is a lot of... It's 60 of you. Or 61, including you. And you're going to die. You're probably going to die, let's be honest. You're just going to get outnumbered. But I think I have forged a really solid argument for 10 frames from the selection that would actually probably be able to keep you alive. Okay? Maybe I'm chatting shit, but I feel pretty strong. You guys tell me whether or not I'm based on these ideas here. These are my 10 picks for the frames that I choose to protect me versus all of the others. We'll talk about others here and there that maybe will be a problem. But first is a bit of a wishy-washy pick, and you could replace. But I'm starting with Ashe, and the only other frame, pretty much any frame that can make you invisible, is the option for the first spot. So you could go Ashe, you could go Octavia. Octavia might be a better option. But Ashe with Smoke Shadow can make me invisible. So they're not going to be able to take me. They won't know where I'm at. If Ashe is constantly making me invisible, he's invisible himself, so he could pick people off. I know that we probably shouldn't include Helmet in the ideas here, because then it's going to get really complex. But Ashe could probably one-shot a few straggler Warframes. Maybe, you know, who's a Warframe that could get one-shot by Ashe? Maybe Banshee. You know, he could throw a Blade Storm at her or something whilst he's invisible. Maybe a teleport. He can strip armor. In lore, I don't really know how well he's scaling. This is kind of a sleeper pick. Octavia's probably better. Let's be honest. Octavia is probably the better invis Warframe because she can make... Well, Ashe can make everyone invisible as well, but just a frame that makes you invisible. Ashe or Octavia for the #1 spot. The only reason I'm picking Ashe over Octavia is because he's cooler. He's the cooler Warframe, okay? But give this boy Smoke Shadow. He could put up some serious damage. He's invisible himself, so he's probably not going to get picked off early. He's going to keep you safe. And he's badass. #2 is very lore related. And I have to choose Atlas because based on what this guy did in the lore, in case you don't know, apparently this dude like punched an asteroid that was big enough to destroy the Earth or the planet he was on or whatever, and he just eviscerated it. He eviscerated the asteroid with a punch. So in lore, I really do feel like Atlas could decimate a horde of the Warframes that we're up against. I do think he is within lore one of the most powerful for sure. So he'd be like a frontliner. He's not really here to protect you. He'd be a frontliner. I've no doubt his rumblers are probably pretty destructive in the lore as well. This is the guy that's going to be doing damage. He's going to be one of the ones up front, you know, taking damage and pumping it out. He's pretty tanky. Atlas is one of my picks for the aggressors because in lore he's gonna take it. I think he's gonna take a lot of Warframes out with one punch. To be honest with you, I just see it that way. Also, we could quickly glance over some of the ones that aren't included or like options. I think Banshee is a terrible pick. I don't like what's Banshee gonna do. Like, sure, she can make a lot of my Warframes one shot, but at the same time she can't because we got Warframes in our list that are literally unkillable. So Banshee is a no. Baruch is mostly damage reduction based. He'd eventually probably get picked off. If not, he's probably just standing there taking damage with his one, doing no output. I think Baruch could get picked off if the damage numbers are high enough. He'd get, you know, withered away. Caliban, honestly, kind of sleeper pick. Excuse me. Sleeper pick Caliban. He's pretty good. I mean, maybe he's just lacking in survivability. You know, no, Caliban would die. Chroma, okay. We're going to quickly talk about Chroma. He's not in my top 10. He's not in my top 10. Just to clarify, all the frames I've just quickly glossed over, these aren't in the top 10. Only the first two so far. Chroma, apparently, I don't know which video it was I saw. It was a very good video. Someone's saying that within lore, Chroma is like the most powerful Warframe because of his dragon shenanigans and his elements. I'm gonna be honest, I'm just not buying into it. I don't hear enough about this dude's quest and lore and how he's mastered all these elements, and I don't know the specifics. It sounded very wishy-washy and kind of stupid, to be honest. This guy is not invited to the sleepover. He's not on the team. Bro thinks he's on the team, but he isn't, because apparently he's like the most powerful Warframe in the lore. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. Not enough people are buying into it. I think he gets taken out, to be honest. If you're asking me, I don't give a fuck how powerful this guy apparently is. I bet Atlas can one-shot him. Straight up, I think if he can decimate an asteroid, Chroma's probably going to get pieced up a little bit. Citrine, yeah, she can kind of protect you, heals, damage reduction, whatever. Saito 9, yeah, how is fucking cars going by my house? Saito 9, like, he's going to be a bitch to deal with, but he doesn't offer enough to be on my team. He's going to be invisible, he's going to be doing lots of damage and sniping shit. He'll probably get taken eventually. He could be an issue. Degarth, she would get taken out. Dante, a lot of Overguard, he'd get taken out as well. Ember, Equinox, Excal. Honestly, we're just gonna move past the selection here, because otherwise this video is gonna go on too long. I'll interject here and there about what a certain Warframe could possibly do, but the frames that we're passing over are the ones that just aren't. They're not going to be on the team. But number 3, the Warframe that is actually going to be on my team is Grendel. Once again, within the lore, I'm pretty certain this guy can eat planets. Right? That's the thing. This guy eats planets. This is basically Galactus. I'm putting him on the team, even if he can't eat planets. This guy is... Grendel is 100% eating at least 5 Warframes, like just straight away. I fully believe that he could remove 5 of the most powerful frames on the enemy team out of the 50 of them. That's good. That's really good. That's really valuable. And in lore, he's probably going to swallow everyone. Pause on that. I'm taking Grendel. He's just a problem. He could probably solo this. He could probably eat everyone. Who's next on my list? I gotta refer. Okay, we'll quickly talk about Kome. Where the hell is Kome? Yeah, we're not taking any of these. Kome, she isn't on the list. She's partially worth talking about because she can just proc every element in the game with like her first ability. She's a meme. She's in lore, she's probably a serious issue, but nah, Kome's not on the list. But who is on the list? There's another vehicle going by my house. Limbo. Mr. Limbo, Mr. Top Hat. Mr. Within lore is definitely even more broken than he is in game. Here's the thing. I think if he's on my team, then automatically I feel strongly that both me and all of the other Warframes available on my squad, we're all going to be invincible. Because we're going to be banished in the Rift. So I could be invisible from Ash. And then Limbo could banish me. I'm in a different dimension. There's no way all the other 50 Warframes can damage me in the Rift. Where I'm in a different dimension. I understand that abilities go through the Rift, but that's when we're on the same team. So Limbo might just banish all the other 9 frames on my squad. And then they just go to town with their abilities. Atlas is going to be unfuckable. And this guy stops time. Limbo stops time. So, having that as something that he can control within the Rift is broken. He can banish the entire squad with a bubble. I just don't... I don't see there being many counters against Limbo. I understand that in-game he's kind of a bit of a gimmick. But bro, we know that in lore this guy is like untouchable. I think Limbo is a must-have. An absolute must-have on the squad. He would just stop time, he'd banish people, he'd freeze up a bunch of these frames. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Like Loki? Oh, Loki's invisible, fucking Oberon's pulling up, and Protea's running at you, and you're all invisible. Limbo just bubbles and fucking stasis. Everything's gonna die. It's just... he's gonna freeze them until their invis runs out. And then... oh my god, bro. I just think Limbo's him. I think Limbo is a goated pick for this. Moving on. Another Warframe broken within the lore. At first you may not think so, but when you realise Mag is basically Magneto, being able to control magnetism is so broken. I think she, like, let alone her abilities in-game, she probably possesses quite a lot more than just the ability shown in-game based on controlling magnetism. Just by proxy, she has to be on the squad, right? I think she's going to do a significant amount of damage. Even if there's no... excuse me. There's no metal, like she could probably steal a few weapons or something. She can disable weapons with her augments. She can strip armor. Put down huge bubbles everywhere. Magnetized bubbles, massive damage. AoE. Shield gating, Theranos squad. Like, bro. I just think Mag would also be a frontliner. Much like Atlas, Mag is going to be at the front of the pack doing a shit ton of damage. She's probably going to take out a bunch of Warframes that just would not be able to hang with her. Mag is a no-brainer pick from a lore standpoint. Then, like, we got... before we get to our next spot, obviously Mesa would be like, oh, dude, yeah, bro. Like, the name... like... the regular Warframe brain players like, oh yeah, dude, Mesa on my squad to just spray down a horde. This is such a blockhead take, okay? Mesa has bullet gun, alright? Fucking awesome. What's she gonna do to Limbo? Like, oh, cool, Mesa, yeah. Let's just shoot through this cataclysm. That's not happening. Mesa's gonna die. She'd get meleeed. She's vulnerable to melee. Atlas would just beat the brakes off of Mesa. One shot. So in game it's like, oh yeah, Mesa, one of the best frames in the game, but no, in lore I'm not seeing it. Necros get folded, Mirage, probably similar to Mesa, Neja, yeah, it's like Nidus. Nidus would be a nuisance. Nidus would absolutely be a nuisance, just because he's so unkillable. But you'd probably find a way to like prevent him from gaining stacks. Here we have what number are we on? 6. Okay. My 6th pick for my team is Nova. I feel like every lore video for Warframes is always the same, talking about how Nova is not only within game but also within lore just a no-brainer. She controls matter or antimatter. And antimatter can destroy anything just by touching it. It's called antimatter for a reason. So, what she's probably capable of is far more than what the game presents, much like Mag. Anything this frame touches is going to get eviscerated instantly, let alone what her abilities already do. She's another frontliner. She's going to be able to slow down everyone, which is already a huge problem for the enemy team. Anything she touches with like Null Star or abilities is going to get folded straight away, insta-gone. Nova is like in lore, completely busted. Easy frontliner on the squad, going to do a bunch of damage, kill a lot of different Warframes. It just makes sense, right? She's the antimatter Warframe. I don't think as a frame that's going to be... like maybe Wukong is going to survive a few hits, right? Because he has it's Wukong. He has levels of what is it? levels or stages of immortality, so he might die a few times, but eventually Nova would handle him. Nova's on the list. Moving on to our number 7 spot, we have a sleeper hit. This may not be someone that you think straight away, but I feel confidently that Nyx is a top team player in this scenario. Think about this. It's safe to assume that she's gonna be able to mind control one of the Warframes on the enemy team. So already we've got another member. It doesn't even matter who it is. It could be any of the Warframes. She mind controls one. We got another member on our squad. That's good. And that mind controlled opponent is doing a shit ton of damage. She can strip enemies' armor. She can gain bonuses of defense for herself. That's good for her, although it's not really important. But she can strip enemy defenses. Then she can make a bunch of the Warframes. Tell me I'm not fucking tripping. Chaos would be broken. I think Chaos would cause an all-out war between a shit ton of the frames caught within the range. So there's going to be collateral damage on the enemy team of all 50 of them. Sure, there's probably some Warframes that are like going to counter it, and it's not going to work on. Fuck knows why, but she has mind control. Tell me the lore. How many times have I said that in this video? Jesus Christ, I need to find a new word. But in the Warframe universe, I feel as though mind control. There's a reason why Magneto and fucking Professor X are like, the top tier mutants in Marvel and shit. It's because those powers are busted. And this isn't even getting into Nyx and Assimilate. Nyx is not a frontliner. She's a backline defense, and she's gonna sit. She's gonna hold my hand. It's gonna be Eleanor too. Bring a waifu, and she's gonna sit and assimilate, and I'm not gonna die. Like, assimilate just became the best tanking skill in the game. It no longer drains energy based on how much damage she's taking, so she's gonna sit in it forever. And I'm gonna sit and assimilate with her, and she's gonna make everyone fight each other on the enemy team. This is like an automatic win, bro. Nyx, easy sleeper pick to gloss over. I think she, like, mind control in this scenario is busted. So she's my number 7. Octavia was cool. Like, Octavia Oberon's dead. Octavia and Ashe are like interchangeable. You just need an invis frame. But now Protea is my number 8 Warframe. Protea is, at first glance, it's like, oh, it's just, it's just Vauban 2.0, but no. She has control of time, and it's not just in the rift like Limbo. She has literal time control with her ult. We don't even know how far this extends outside of the in-game abilities. I predict it's pretty far. She's also super common in these lore videos discussing who's the most powerful in the game, and she's always up there because she has time manipulation. So if something goes wrong, she's just going to rewind time and bring me back to life. I think this is she's also a frontliner. She's doing so much damage. She has crazy levels of shield gate survivability for her and her team. Just in terms of what she's doing damage-wise in lore, and she's throwing out gadgets and shit. It's not, at face value, it doesn't look that impressive, but her ultimate and the ability to control time is broken. I feel like she's probably going to save a few of our Warframes if anything goes wrong via rewinding time. This is a broken ability in lore, much like Mag. You need this. You need this on your team, because if we're up against Protea, we are in trouble. Because if something goes wrong on their end, Protea will just rewind time, so we need her on our team by proxy. She's my number 8 pick. Before we get into number 9, let's have a quick look at Corvex. He'd get fucked. Revenant and Rhino. These are very close to being on my list, I just don't think they are necessary or bringing enough to the table. I get it. Revenant's basically unkillable. This guy would be a nuisance. And yes, we're of course like, this whole list is taking into the idea that maybe each Warframe can die without the use of the operator, because operators are literally immortal, courtesy of the void. It's all that nerdy shit, the whole discussion is pointless. Because nothing's going to die. But Revenant and Rhino, they're both basically unkillable, right? I'm sure you could find a window to take out Rhino, but it would take a lot of combinations of our team. I think Limbo is dude, I'm not going to stop on the Limbo glazing. I think Limbo is going to be able to freeze a lot of windows of time to get the jump on Warframes like Revenant and Rhino. These guys are unkillable, devastating, really two of the top picks. I think, like, yeah, it would be great to have them on my squad, but I don't think they're bringing as much to the team as my picks so far. And Rhino is also incredibly dangerous because his ult pretty much stops, like, what was I about to say? Stops? His ult pretty much stops time. That is an issue. I think these two, look at them aura farming down here, bro. I think these two might be the biggest problems to go up against for my top 10. But I can't think of a reason to fit one of them in. Okay, maybe not. When we talk about the 10th Warframe, there's an option that you could replace the 10th frame with, like, Rhino or Rev. I'd pick Rhino. I'd pick Rhino over Revenant if I was going to have these on my squad, but we are going up against them. They are dangerous. Like, these guys are basically unkillable. Outside of that, I don't think Revenant's skills are going to be too abrasive. He doesn't have a lot of big AoE. And he has mind... Fuck, dude. Revenant has mind control as well, like Nyx. Jesus Christ, bro. I'm going to have to do some rethinking. I think Nyx is a bigger problem than Revenant. I would rather have Nyx on my team than Rev, because Assimilate and Chaos is better than Thrall and Mesmer Skin. Not in-game. Well, maybe in-game. I'm yapping. Moving on. These two aren't on my team, but they're very close to being, and honestly, they'd probably kill me. Who is on my team? The number 9 spot is Saryn. The main reason she's on the squad is that if Saryn is on the enemy team, I die instantly. Because it doesn't matter whether or not I'm invisible. Even if I'm standing in Assimilate, I think a Saryn spore still gets to me, you know? That's what I'm saying. I think if Saryn's on the enemy team, you die. You're gonna die within a short time span. You're gonna get eroded or corroded away by a spore, die of infection, get your health chopped. Like, just Saryn is one of the most visceral Warframes to have in this match. I think having her on my team, she's gonna wipe the floor. Tell me right now that Saryn would not pose an issue to someone like Rhino and Revenant. If the fight goes on long enough, Rhino's Overguard's going to get one-shotted. Every single few seconds, a tick of Spore is going to take out a Mesmer Skin charge. She's going to create openings. She's going to create windows of damage. She's squishy. She's going to have to shield gate a bit. Saryn is a maybe not a frontliner. She might be like, I don't know if she's sitting back protecting me. Probably not. But she's going to spread a shit ton of damage and debuffing. I think she gets a few kills easily, maybe a lot of kills. Having her on the enemy team is guaranteed death for you. And in lore, she just does so much. I think we need Saryn on the squad, bro. She just can... Everyone's going to be covered in viral and corrosive. And that's just... It's so much more devastating when we're talking about in-universe. In-game, it's different. In-game, it doesn't seem as impressive. But in-universe... Saryn's going to wipe the floor with a lot of frames. We need Saryn on the squad. She's number 9. Sevagoth. Sevagoth would be an issue. Because this guy, he's going to take... Oh. Once again, on face value, it's like, okay, Sevagoth is just going to insta-nuke all 10 of my Warframes with that scale and damage, yeah? But that's not taking into the, like, Nova's going to do the same thing. In lore, she's more powerful than Sevagoth, 100%. She's going to do that to him. Who else is on my team? Limbo's going to protect me from it. Fucking, Grendel could eat him. You see what I'm saying? My squad has abilities that is hard countering and hard fucking up a lot of these other frames. Atlas could beat the brakes off him. And we haven't even got into a number 10 spot. If I die, Protea just rewind time. Like, Sevagoth is dangerous. Because he could maybe wipe out a few of us. But I think Limbo's got us covered. Limbo's a big counter to everyone. So I get it, right? He's infinite scaling one-shot nuke with his shadows. But he's squishy. I know he has slow AoE. We have Nova slow AoE and it's better. I think Sevagoth would actually be pretty easy to handle for my squad. I think he gets insta-mogged. Like, one-shotted for sure. Because he's not even that tanky in game. Stynax. Nah, he's just like, you know. He'd give us Overguard. I think there's better options. Stynax would die. Stynax would definitely die. Same thing with Temple. Temple's gonna die. Like eventually someone's gonna get to Temple. Titania. I was thinking about Titania because she's tiny. But she's not tiny enough to be invisible. There's literally invisible Warframes. Titania would die. Once again, Limbo is just gonna sort her out. So what? She's gonna fly at me? I'm invisible. I'm invincible with Nyx. Ashe is making me invisible. See what I'm saying? My squad is goated. Trinity, she'll die. Valkyrie is literally about to get nerfed. She's about to get a rework nerf. So she's no longer going to be invincible. She would maybe on... I don't think she has enough to offer to warrant being on the team. I think Valkyrie is the type of frame where you disable her for an extended period, right? You freeze her up. You probably won't be able to kill her as she is current because she's invincible. But she's getting nerfed, so Valkyrie's going to get fucked. Vauban, he ain't surviving. And you guys may not expect this, but my number 10 pick is Volt. I think having a speedster on the squad is detrimental. And it is a toss-up. It is a toss-up between Gorse and Volt. You could go one or the other. I don't know who's more powerful in lore. I also don't know who's faster in lore. Remember, in the big Warframe trailer, I've forgotten which trailer it is, but you know the trailer I'm talking about, the one that everyone's seen, where it's showing Excalibur, Mag, and Volt. We've seen Volt running so fast that everything around him is stopped in place. So this guy already has godlike levels of speed. He's comparable to the Flash. And that's a lore-based trailer, bro. You know, I'm not capping on this. I think Gorse would do the same thing. I think Volt is fast enough to literally go out of his way and murk an excessive amount of Warframes. I think he'd also be able to protect you with shields if it comes to it. His discharge pause is fucked, you know, in this situation. I think the power of electricity is goated in this as well. Electricity is extremely dangerous within lore, and his speed... Here. Hear me out. Gorse, in lore, it would make sense for him to be faster, because he's meant to be the kinetic speed Warframe, right? It would make sense that Volt would be slower in lore, even though there's nothing to suggest it, or prove it. But Volt... Did I just punch the mic? Volt can make him, me, and every other Warframe within range the same speed. Or similar speed, right? Almost like, you know, 90% the same, minus whatever sprint speed mods he has. I can literally run away. If I'm on Gorse, I don't know if... we're not going to get into the stupid sciencey shit of like, oh, if Gorse picks you up and runs, you just turn into mush instantly. Because technically it would happen with Volt as well, but if Volt can give you speed, that means he's giving you the same powers and the same density to be able to move at that speed without dying. He turns you into the Flash, I'm just going to run away. And so what? If this fight is taking place in a big arena to fit all of us in, it would have to be massive, by the way. We're talking about Atlas, bro. Atlas would break the arena. This is why it's not taking place in a cage. Even if I was in a cage, bro, I would be invisible from Ashe, and then on Volt, I would just run around. I'd just be Mark 1 speed. Volt, in my opinion, Gorse is close, but he doesn't give the same, you know, speed team support to his squad. So making everyone on the team and me be able to move that fast to the point where you're basically the Flash. It's, in my opinion, that's a free win. I feel like we need that. And if we're looking at the rest of the list, to yap here and there about some suggestions, yes, I did consider Wisp. That is our top 10, and Wisp is not in it. Neither is Rhino, neither is Rev, but Wisp is a top pick because she literally opens a portal to the sun with her ult. And in lore, this thing is most definitely better than it is in game. Wisp will be a serious issue, and she's also invisible. I'd understand if you pick her. I just think my squad is so busted. I think we have a counter for almost everything. I don't know if it's possible to have a squad that counters literally everything. But to list them off again, we have either Ashe or Octavia, purely for the fact that they make us invisible. But I've chosen Ashe because I think he can buff his team with Smoke Shadow. He makes a lot of people invisible, makes himself invisible. He can instant one-shot probably a few Warframes with Blade Storm. He's invincible during... Excuse me, he's invincible during Blade Storm. He can teleport. But he's protection. Backline with me, keeping me invisible. Atlas is a frontliner, literally destroying hordes of Warframes with a single punch. I think Atlas, like if we're looking at the list, Atlas would one-shot Banshee. Baruch would get pretty hurt. Caliban gets one-shot. Chroma gets damaged. Citrine gets one-shot by Atlas. Site 09 would probably get, like, accidentally clobbered by the AoE. The Garth. Dante, Ember, Equinox, Excal, Frost, Gara, Gruder. Gara and Gruder actually sleeper picks as well. These two are extremely dangerous. But they just don't cut it enough to make it on. You see what I mean? A lot of these frames, I feel like Atlas can easily one-shot with an asteroid level breaking punch. And number 10, Ashe. Then Atlas, number 9. Then Grendel at number 8, because he can eat a lot of frames at once and eat planets. Limbo, Mag, Nova, Nyx, Protea, Saryn, and Volt. My group is just, I feel like they're unfuckable. I feel like that's the squad, and they're not gonna... I actually feel like there's a chance I'd survive. If Saryn was on the enemy team, I think you die instantly. I don't think there's a way you can avoid a spore, which is why she's so important. The biggest threat that we're going up against, if we're looking now, Equinox has Maim. That's a big threat. It's a lot of range, easily instantly one-shot you. Gara's probably one of the most terrifying because it's literally glass. Like, she's going to kill you with shards of glass. Garuda's also a really big nuke. But like I said, like Limbo is literally just... I think Limbo is a must. I think Limbo is an absolute must. Gorse is a problem. He'd have to be taken care of by Volt. Jaya wouldn't be a problem. Harrow wouldn't be a problem. He has windows of vulnerability. Ildra not a problem. Hydroid, bit scary, you know. Raining acid rain. Inaros would get fucking owned. Ivara would get accidentally killed by an AoE. She'd get killed by a Saryn probably instantly, bro. Jade, not a threat. I'm talking shit. I'm talking in sense of my team, right? Obviously, everyone here is gonna instantly kill me. But in terms of the team of Warframes, I don't think Jade's a threat. I don't think Korra's a threat. She's got good AoE. You know, Limbo's the MVP. Limbo's literally the MVP of the squad. This is his moment to shine, is within this discussion. He's going to banish and cataclysm my entire team. And freeze anyone that enters. Kome, potentially a problem. Clovo, he'd die. Lavos probably die. I think in lore, Lavos might be a problem. Depends how he is with the elements. I don't think Mesa or Mirage are a problem. Necros is not a problem. If Necros, in order for him to be an issue, he has to kill one of my team. And it has to be someone who's really dangerous. Because then he's going to bring them back from the dead on his side. So, Necros could be a problem, but Necros ain't killing anyone, bro. Who are we kidding? I get it, right? In lore, we've seen in the Prime trailer, he could soul punch someone or one-shot them instantly. Okay, can he do that to the Warframes? Probably, considering we're allowing Nyx to mind control. But he can do that to a single target at once, it seems, and I don't know if he can get close enough. I don't know if Necros is getting close enough to be useful. Neja's gonna die. Nidus would just be a bit of a nuisance. Oberon's gonna die. Octavia could be a problem, definitely. Corvex would die. Rhino and Revenant, massive threats. But eventually I think these guys will get stalemated by Limbo Stasis. Sevigov we already discussed. Steinax dead. Temple dead. Titania probably dead. Trinity probably dead. Valkyria, as it stands right now, would she just have to be held in stasis. But after nerf she dies. Vauban probably dies. Varuna is also, like, she's invisible. She does a lot of AoE. She's actually very dangerous as well. I think she dies. I think Atlas is probably Think about having a Saryn and Atlas on the same team. The amount of AoE damage it's going down at once, and how many frames are just going to die instantly. Then we got Nova. Like, Nova's just going to fucking eviscerate anyone too. Like, Varuna's going to get clipped by something. Wisp, probably the same. Wukong would die a few times. He'd be a nuisance as well, much like Nidus. Zaku's going to die. Yaredi's going to die. Zephyr's going to die. She's like Mesa, bro. She's vulnerable to melee attacks. Someone call Atlas, you know? Just, that's my list. I'm very confident that, okay, I think I'd still die, don't get me wrong. Any human caught in the crossfire is dead. I think I'd die, but I think my team of those 10 Warframes, tell me I'm wrong, they would kill all the others, right? And if they don't kill them, let's say there's a time limit on the fight for like an hour, it ends in a stalemate where the heaviest hitters on the other 50 Warframes are just standing there held in stasis because they can't move. So like Rhino and Revenant probably survive, right? But if they get caught in stasis, they can't recast their skills, so they're dead. Let's do one final listing so you guys get it. We have Ashe, Atlas, Grendel, Limbo, Mag, Nova, Nyx, Protea, Saryn, and Volt. Limbo's the MVP. The frontliners are going to be Atlas, Grendel, Mag, Nova, Protea, and then like the ones protecting me, we've got Ashe, Limbo, fucking Nyx, Volt, Saryn. Saryn's gonna be sat back, being protected by all of them, just spreading carnage. See, they're not just protecting me, these frames are literally protecting each other. What are they gonna do? What are they going to do? A few Warframes could sit right next to Nyx, right? And she's making everyone else fight each other. And Ashe could make everyone invisible. Volt can make everyone Mark 1 speed. Oh my god. We win. I feel like we win. My team better. Versus the other 50 bozos. I think they lose. But yeah. I just thought this would be a fun discussion. I want to do more content like this of like these stupid hypotheticals because they're so much fun, and I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. Alright, this can't possibly be. I want everyone to have a fucking blast in the comments. Alright, just nerding out of this stupid shit as to who would be on your team. Give your reasoning. There is no right or wrong answers for these. I feel because it's all just there's 60 of them, right, and all of them have a bunch of abilities and everyone's got different lore and different scaling, so this argument would never end, but that's why it's fun. So leave your top 10s to protect you in the comments, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.